Afternoon, Graham and Lorraine. This is, well, the new normal for face masks. So just going to go around a couple of issues. I think probably first I'm going to start with the windows. So I'm in the living room here at the moment. Just have a quick pan round, let you see. I think the main thing I've noted here is that the windows have been fitted. This wall here is all going to be timber framed for Vernon to come in and do his spray foaming. Just one thing that's come up today is just need to revisit this issue with the fireplace in the living room. Really, because it's been so long since we talked about it, I just want to make sure it's a stove that we were going to go for here. It's something we really need to get into the detail of. Just go around looking at these windows. John's been showing me a few issues with them, so if I'll just take a pan shot first and let you see what they look like. I mean, they look good in, there's no doubt about that. A little bit difficult with the light. So, if I can show you. So, a couple of issues with the windows I think we need to revisit here. So, normally there'd be some hooks to open the window at the bottom, so there's none of that. There doesn't seem to be any hardware. There's also no latches for the top. The latches have arrived, but I don't know if you can see in there, there's actually quite a step from one to the other, so that should really be level when the lock pulls it in place. I think it's just not a great fit. I think more concerning is the looseness of these windows. I don't know if you can actually see that. So they're only held in by this bead, which sits in a check which is cut into the frame, so that's all fitted correctly. It just feels a little bit loose and like the wind is going to come in there. I'd like to know what Alan's thoughts are on that. Also the lip here, and secondly, or finally, the lack of any sort of safety restriction. So these windows just fully open right to the top. So on the upper floors it means a kid could jump out of these, which I think it's actually, I don't think you're allowed to supply windows like this. So the other issue is just as well I didn't have the trickle vent open, because when the window came up would have smashed the trickle vent. So it needs a restrictor to stop it going fully up. It also, they all really need a restrictor up in here for child safety. And I'm hoping when the locks are on, it pulls the two sashes apart a bit further and eliminates that little step that's there. Although, I mean, these are kind of annoying issues which I think we can remedy. They do look good in, there's no doubt about that. But it's just this, they run smoothly. Again, you know, John's got the counterweights working pretty well, but again, they just feel, the fit just feels a bit, I don't know if you can see that on the video, I don't know if it comes across. So anyway, let me just keep going around because we've had quite a lot of chat about that today. So, final thing on the living room, this floor is not too bad in terms of its levelness, so that's quite good, as is the hallway. Is there anything else in here to show you? I don't think so at the moment. Obviously all the cabling's gone in. Robert's pretty much finished his first fix. So just into the kitchen now. So if I can just, obviously all the framing's been done here. John highlighted a couple of rotten joist ends down the end here that he's looking for an instruction to fix. Just never noticed them before. Again, these windows, broadly the same issues with them all. I don't know if that's acceptable. I mean, to me it seems unusual. I've never seen a window that loose. I'm a bit worried on the front that the wind blows them and they rattle a bit. I mean, they don't rattle at the moment, and I think when the locks are in it'll hold them tight, but again, no thumb hooks. So just another one or two wee things. John's been asked to put a bit of silicone up round here and round here, because previously some of these windows leak. There's also a little bit of water sitting in here. maybe a wee bit more than we would like, to be honest. I think the best thing is to put this back to Alan, let him have some comment. Same again on this one. Again, the beads are all in right. So just a quick look at the windows. It's quite difficult, the camera, to adjust with the light coming through. Just go around to the side door. So I'm afraid there's one or two little issues with it as well. So again, it looks good in, you know, it's a nice big glass window, no doubt about that. So just start with the first thing. This door handle here, you can see hits it's actually too big, the rose at the back, so need to find a solution for that. Just today we noticed there's like a split in the seal, like it's two half bits of seal here, and there seems to be water which is coming down the window here every time the door opens, so that's not so good. So another few things just to make you aware, these panes here seem to have been made by having an openable window screwed shut essentially. So there's like a sort of material type gasket here, if you can see that. So this is relevant to the outside in a minute when I take you outside and show you. So if I just come outside now, that gasket that I showed you there is in relation to that gap. Oh sorry, it's where that gap is on the outside. So water at the moment is getting in that gap, and right down in the back there's a little hole where water goes down in there. So this needs filled, and it needs filled pretty quickly, because the water will rot the bottom of that window. So if I go down, you can actually, I don't know if you can see the screws there where it's just screwed. So we either need some little kind of rubber piece to go in there. I don't think we'll get it in ivory, or we need to get some colour match silicone to go in there. Either way, it's a bit disappointing, I think. And again, you know, I think we need to put this back to the window companies. Like, what are they going to do about it? You know, I just don't think on this elevation it's going to wash, to be honest. Just taking a quick look round in this room. Don't know that there's much else changed here. Just up the stairs. This big piece of timber I think would be a nice mantelpiece, but that's maybe for another discussion. So up to the first floor. Main things happening up here are the fire alarm cabling going in. That's the red fireproof cabling you can see. These rooms are broadly the same. I'm through into the front southern room with a little ensuite. I've just been talking about these different floor levels with John. He's going to tidy that up for us a little bit. Similar, I think, issues with these windows again, but I'm not going to dwell on that. I think Ali's pipe work's mostly in. Anything in this room? No, obviously windows fitted. Ones we got loose again. Come through some of the other rooms. Again, just windows and fire alarm cabling in here, I think. That one's a bit looser. I'll just go through to some of the other rooms for you. No changes in here. I think this is where they've got up to with the fire alarm cable, and I think the rest's still to be done. Yeah, I think that's it there. So through into the back bedroom, let's call it. Yeah, window fitted obviously. Otherwise broadly the same. Just go up the ladder. We're safe here. Up to the top floor. No more birds' nests. Oh, there's fire alarm cabling up here as well. Or sorry, the second floor. I think, yeah, broadly the way it was left. Oh, these masks. Stopped in one of the top bedrooms. I think we pointed this out before, but there's a slight bow in that, what we would call the coombe line. So it's because of the roof actually bows here. Very little you can do about that. It's just something to highlight. It will be a little bit visible when you're done, but it's one of these things that's probably nigh on impossible to correct anyway. So it's just something to show you really. The stay opening we've spoke about with John. I think we're pretty close to being ready to get this ordered actually. So that's something I want to talk about later this week. I'm not going to take some final site sizes of this today. John's going to start talking to the plasterer about dealing with that wall. We've still got to bring the end of that wall out a little bit actually, stuff like that. So a few little bits, but yeah, so let's get back down this ladder and we'll take you outside. Windows still in one piece, which is good. So just out the back now, just take you up and show you the roof. So looks pretty good up here. Bit of lead work still to do here. Lead work over the top of the sill, and then lead in that wee slot and then along. But it looks good. These are the easy slate gaskets. You can see them being done just up in the corner there. It kind of gives a bit of airspace between the slate, but it looks pretty crisp, you know. So I think John's got his fiberglass valleys in there already. Yeah, there's a wee bit of roof needs fixed just up there where the guy doing the core drill for the vent hit the slates. Just, but yeah, so we've already talked about that today. Right. So actually, see while I'm up here, I'm going to show you. John and I have been up the back here, so I come over this way a little bit to try and explain it, what I'm doing here. So this is where the old chalet was. You can obviously see the new chalet. Now John took me up a little path that goes up the back here. You can cut across and there's like a little walled area and then another little set of stairs kind of come down in here. It's not something John can get up to with the digger, so we're going to see about getting some guys out with chainsaws to clear this. There's obviously a cost to that, but I think at the moment we're looking at really everything from the left of the tree, all the rhododendrons cleared. The guy's also going to give us a price for the rest of clearing the rest of this as well. But so John's pushing on with that just now. We're going to get a price back for clearing that out for you and seeing. But I think there's a nice little spot up there. There's a retaining wall and then a secondary wall where you might fit something in there, which might be quite nice. Another point that's come up today is really what to do with all this spoil and rubbish, but hopefully it's part of the landscaping. We can maybe talk about all these things on the phone. So let me just go back down here. I need to show you something on here. This floor in here is pretty bad. This bit and this bit, and I think it all needs to come up probably. At the moment we've got a radiator here. I think this might be one. It's so badly out of plumb. Speak about that later. Take a wee trip out the front. I mean, the windows really look nice. Can't get round that. You know, the colour's lovely. The ivory works really well, I think. The white, we definitely need to paint the porch the same colour though. Definitely. Downpipes look good. Yeah, the downpipes do look good, you know. Yeah. So, not sure what else to show you just now. Getting back to things. I've sort of spoke to John and we've agreed all the things from Graham's list as well, so I'll pass all that on when I speak to you on the phone. Yeah, but I think getting there. Looking forward to start pushing into the next phase. Starting to see it coming together a bit more complete. But I'll sign out just now and speak to you on the phone probably tomorrow. Cheers, bye.